Hi everyone, welcome to yet another session today. And today we have got, not here, on the background, we have got Siddhi from Cuvette, and we have Tiasha as well, who is on the background. So Siddhi, go ahead and introduce yourself and also tell what is this event about for like a quick stuff, and then I'll take over.
Sure. Thank you, Praveen. Hi, everyone. I am Siddhi Gupta, and I am currently working with Cuvette Tech as a community moderator, where we organize these sessions about different tech stacks and soft skills needed to become a software engineer. So, for the same, we have invited Praveen Kumar today to do a session on full stack JavaScript development. Thank you so much, Praveen, for taking out your time and being with us here. I'm super excited for the session, super pumped, and looking forward for it.
Thank you so much for such a nice introduction, Siddhi. Okay, so what are we going to do today? We have got like around 1 to 1.5 hours. Let me quickly tell. And for those people who do not know who I am, hi, my name is Praveen. I'm originally from Chennai, India, currently living and working in the UK for one of the top US-based investment banking firms. Okay, that was last month. From next month, I'll be working somewhere. We don't know. The future is completely unknown for me. And coming to what we are going to do today, generally my day job includes a full stack JavaScript web development, and I work primarily on React and Node.js. So that is one of the full stack JavaScript stack. So we will be looking at what exactly this full stack JavaScript stack is, and we will also learning about a lot of couple of things as well. So that's going to be today, and we will also do a nice application using full stack JavaScript, and we will also try to deploy it on the live. So for those people who want to share the work with the whole world from your local computer, we will also deploy it to the international or local, or what would we say? So on the www, on the World Wide Web. That is what we are going to do today. I hope everyone here will be excited to do something cool like that. And let's see how it goes. Before that, I keep saying that I'm a full stack developer. So who is a full stack developer who doesn't have a website, right? So I hope everyone is able to see my screen. So this is my website. It's called praveen.science. And okay, it takes some time. Sorry about my slow network. So that's me. I'm a cat lover, I'm a cook, and I'm a mentor, and all the different hats that I do. And this website looks like very simple website. There is just a big background of mine. I have got my name fully in a big way. It is written. All the ways you can stalk me is here. And I do have my YouTube channel as well. And this particular video is also being published on the YouTube. So if you have a look at this, we are live here, and it looks something like this. I hope it looks this way. Yeah, so it is going to come this way. And we had Siddhi here, but yeah, Siddhi was not visible. But yeah, so this is my website, and it has got a small introduction section, only those things that are required here that is there, and then goes to the hire me section, etc. And experience as usual as a basic lazy web developer. I have not updated anything. If you don't have any experience, just go ahead and write your education. What I did is I just copied everything from my university website. And coming to all these numbers are made up numbers, but they are like much higher at this point. One thing which I would like to tell all the developers is, please try to create your own portfolio. For example, I did this like 11 years ago, 10 years ago, 9 years ago, or so many years ago. So looking at this, if anyone sees the previous recent projects, they will see that how good I have improved upon time. So that's something which a lot of people will be very happy at looking at, and it is easy to judge or gauge your skills. Another thing which I would say is, when you finish your universities, when you finish your college and start your work, written communication skills are very, very important. And here you go. So please start writing blogs. There are a lot of free ways to write blogs. You can use dev.to, WordPress, Medium, LinkedIn, Pulse, etc. to write your blogs. So I write two types of blogs predominantly. Number one is I learned something new. I will try to explain that in such a way that either a 5-year-old kid or my grandpa or grandma will be able to understand this. So this actually helps people to understand that I'm good with this subject or something like that. Second type of thing is I have a problem. This is the solution that I am trying to get. And what are all the different steps and approach I take? And then finally arriving at the solution. So I have been recruiting or like interviewing candidates technically for about 6 years and 6 or 4 years, who cares? So many years I have been interviewing candidates, and I mainly look at the approach of the problem solving methodology, and I do not look at what code they are writing or what kind of like like if they are solving it or not. I don't care about it. I'm looking at the approach. That is more important than the solution itself. And finally, this is what people talk behind my back, and here's how you can talk behind my back. So this is a simple website that I created for myself, and a lot of companies looked at it and they are looking at me for hiring me and stuff like that. So coming to what kind of development environment that I'm doing. So if you go to Google and type in Praveen Dev Environment, I'm using the first link that you would be getting is, unfortunately, I couldn't find that. That's interesting. Okay. I couldn't find this. Just give me a second. I guess I need to change something on this. Oh, I couldn't find all these things at all. Nothing I could find. Give me one moment. I'll show you what my development environment looks like. And oh, yeah, they have, okay, users.tech. Cool, got it. I couldn't really find my name. Wow, okay, that's this. So here's my personal development environment. Generally, this should come in the first page of Google. For some reason, it has not come up. So what I generally do is I have got my modified macOS machine, and I probably be using Google Chrome in spite of all the issues that it has got with respect to privacy. And since it's JavaScript development, I predominantly use React Dev Tools. So React Dev Tools, you can find it from Google Chrome extension, Chrome Developer to Chrome Web Store, and it is by Meta. And coming to the working things, I always try to use Git, because Git is one of the best ways to like do deployments, time travel, code travel, etc., and other things. So without further delay, I wanted to introduce my main things like the Node.js. Node.js is the JavaScript runner. We are going to predominantly work on a full stack JavaScript application. So now what I want from the audience is I want to know one particular idea that is going to be a full stack application or something like that. And let's try to work on it. So before that, let me try to come back here. Yeah. So this is something which I wanted to ask the audience. So what would be a good application for a full stack JavaScript application? Please tell me your comments on it, and I'll try to take an idea from the audience and then try to do this. John Cena has got a nice question. How much DSA have you learned as a full stack JavaScript developer? Also in which language? For everyone's information, the last time I learned DSA was in my third semester in my second year. And then I have never again touched DSA because I almost like failed. And then it's been 15 years, I guess. From my third semester, I did not learn any DSA at all. So that's the answer for you. Full stack web development, I don't think we need any data structures or algorithms, because all the algorithms are already optimized for you. Web is like completely like into programming the JavaScript or PHP. I worked with PHP initially, and then I switched to JavaScript. So that's what I have been working on. So no DSA from my side. I need to also look into other questions as well. Hey, we have been working on. We have got some more questions from Cuvette Tech Chat as well. Hey, Nikhil. Hey, Vraj. Hi, Vasim. Hi, Chakradar. Vasim says, I'm using Firefox because it comes with pre-installed Ubuntu. Yeah, right. True. Okay, actually, Firefox works fine. along with the Firebug and inspect element, everything works fine. I guess that should be also okay. And full stack idea, event management site. Actually, that looks good as well. So what do you all think? Shall we go for an event management site? I hope it is going to be easy and we could quickly do it. So that's my question. And right. So these are a couple of questions that, okay, so Tejas has got this idea about Forex portal, but unfortunately for Forex, we need to know the latest. Actually, wait, Forex is something that doesn't require a database, and we can use some static data to make it work. So how about Forex portal, everyone? So Tejas Berry says Forex portal, and we have got Viraj Sahni says event management site, but event management site will be like a bit tough. Nikhil, yes, I will take the questions from here or even from my YouTube channel as well. So it is currently being double streamed on both my YouTube channel as well as in my in Cuvette's channel. Okay, so how about Forex portal? Because it is easier to implement and easier to understand as well. How does that sound? So yeah, so again, when someone was asking about data structures and other things, maybe Forex portal might give a good idea, because we will be using some data structure, basic data structure on how we should be aligning those things, etc. Now coming to other stuff, we can ignore all these things. Let's go directly to VS Code. VS Code is one of the go-to applications that I use for some complex languages. For example, if I'm using React.js and other things, we'll be using VS Code. And today we will be, I guess we can use VS Code along with React and Express. So that is what we are going to do. For this, I'm going to use an online platform right now. So not using the local installation of my VS Code to make things easier. I guess it is easier to use an online platform like Stack Blitz. So Stack Blitz is one of the instant dev environment creators. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use something like React and Node. We need both Node and React. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with React, and also I will install the backend inside that. So that is easier to run. So once I do this, it is going to show me. So this is one of the instant deployments. So everyone can immediately access this link. I'm going to put this link in both the channel chats. So this is what we are going to use it as. Actually, recipe app would have been nice as well. So yeah, so anything that involves changing the data, I guess it might be a bit troublesome at this point, because we are going to finish it off in 1 hour or 1 hour, 15 minutes. So that is the main reason. Okay, cool. So coming back to our stuff. So let's go ahead. I hope everyone got the links. And the first thing that I'm going to do is, this is the React application. So I'm going to change this TSX in, okay, this is React TypeScript, is it? Okay, I'm so sorry about this. I want React JavaScript because I have got zero clue about TypeScript and I hate typed languages. So I'm going to use front end, and there is React JavaScript here. So now we have got something like this. So this is the final link. I'll just send this link to everyone again. Sorry about the confusion. I'll try to delete this link. So here's the updated link. Okay, so superb. So the first thing that I'm going to do is start working with the content itself. So should I start with the front end or should I start with the back end? Please go ahead. Yeah, Kasim, I understand that would have been a nice one, because recipe, again, we will be working with the database and other things. I don't want to have a lot of things going on. So that's why I wanted to keep it very simple, like a static app application, full stack application. Okay, so we have got 2 backend, 1 front end and backend in my channel as well. So let's go with backend itself. So here is a basic front end that was created using React application. So we'll just leave this like this for some time. And in the package.json, what I want to do is there should be some kind of a terminal here. I'm just trying to find out if there is a terminal. Interestingly, I couldn't find anything in this. All right, what I'm going to do now is quickly, I'll go to Stack Blitz again. Let's create a new application for the backend. Okay, so here, if I go to the backend, we have Express. Express is an application which is a framework in, here it comes as, here we get the terminal here. There should be a, okay, this is toggle Zen mode. I really couldn't find the terminal here at all because only here I'm able to find the terminal. All right, so here we have got Hello Express because it is running at static output here. So in the index.js, okay, so I'll give you an idea about like what is happening here. Okay, this is the complete code for the backend, and here's the complete code for the front end so far. So let's start with the backend. So the first thing what is happening is, similar to how Java works, we want to import something. So in C, C++, you do hash import stdio.h, hash import conio.h, etc. Right? The similar way in, let's say, Java, you would be doing import java.io.star, right? Similarly, we would be using import express here. That's fine. Import express library. So for this, we would have done npm install express, and then next thing is in Java we generally use something like let's say express app equal to new express or something like this, right? How many of you would be very familiar with this particular syntax, correct? So this same thing is the initialization in JavaScript here. Initialization. Now we need a port to run the web application. Generally, the port runs is like on 80 or 443. If it is 80, we will be running on localhost or like www.example.com. When you are running HTTPS, for example, https://google.com or mail.google.com, that will be using 443. Right now here we are using 3010 as the IP address. So let's initialize a port as well. Okay. And now, once we do all these things, we need to tell the app to listen to that particular port. So this port is 3010. And then here example app is listening at this one. Okay. So we can say that server started in port. And please feel free to ask your questions. So once I save this here, I need to Control-C this and then run the npm start. So I initially would have done npm install. Now I would be running npm start every single time. So I could see that server started in port 3010, and we will also need to do something totally different. So I don't want to give this res.send file or something like that. So instead of that, in simple terms, I would be putting res.json, and then I'll give a message saying, hello world. And now if I refresh this page, it still says hello express. But what I need to do is every single time I need to do npm start to show that this is changed. Instead, what I can do is I can completely close this and do npm install nodemon. This is a node monitor kind of a thing, and it looks for all the changes in this thing. Now, if I go back to my package.json, this is the JSON file where you can run the package or like run something. So since nodemon is already available here, I'm going to put nodemon space index.js. If I save this one and then try to run the npm start, it says nodemon watching all these JS files and other things. Now, if I say hello Cuvette and save it, it is going to restart automatically and it shows hello Cuvette. So far, any questions, anything? So here's the link for the project. Divya. So I hope you are able to see this. For those people, I just put the link here. Are you not able to see this link? All right, coming back to what we were working on. So please ask me, stop me then and there and ask me questions if you have any questions. Hey, Hardik, how are you? Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we need to do the rates. Like first thing is we need to find the rates of each entity, let's say. So static rates for currency exchange or JSON. Okay, there is something like foreign exchange rates and currency conversion API. So if we go for this one, it is going to show us the data like this. So if I open this particular link here, okay, it is saying you do not have the access key. There are totally so many world currencies and all these base rates are in USD. Let's think of that way. And then we need to change the rate in such a way that it gets updated to other rates as well. So let's try to find out. Let's see the open exchange rates and then try to see if this works. I guess even for this, there is a unique app ID is required. Yeah, for every single thing, I look at that there is an app ID that is required. Every single thing requires an app ID. Excellent. So we have got this particular thing. Let me try to show you what exactly this shows. So we have got something like this, AED, and then the rate is this one with respect to USD. Okay. So if you go to USD itself, it should be 1.0, I believe. So if we try to find USD, there's no USD. Interesting. I guess there is no reason to have the USD. So let's try to use GBP here. Yep. So it is 0.79. So 1 USD is 0.79 GBP. And if you see 1 USD to INR, it's going to say 77.56. So let's see if there is 77.56 here, right? 77.55, almost the correct one. Okay. So this is the data that we are looking for. Okay. So what we will do is we'll statically take this data and then we are going to use this in our data stuff. So in this file, I'm going to have another file. In this folder, I'm going to have another file here. It's called rates.json. It's a JSON file. So I'm just going to copy and paste everything here. Now we have got literally all the JSON files, all these rates. Now the first thing that we want to establish is from and to, and both the from and to should not be there. So we can do something like create a root. So app.get /API :from /to. So this is what I'm going to do. And there is a request and then there is a response here. So if I put a rest.json and then, if I add from, and then if I do req.params.from, then there is to req.params.to. So if I do this way and then send it over to the application, send it over to the client, what I would be generally getting is if I put /API Which two currencies shall we convert for now? Sorry, Ashu, I don't understand. Okay, Divya, I'm putting the link here. Why are you all not able to get it? Okay, can you try finding it somehow? I'll try to put it as big as possible here. So can you see this one? This is the link. I just put this link on the screen, like on the YouTube stuff. Okay, let me come back. So first thing, can someone tell me what language? Oh, sorry, what two currencies should I convert? Anyone? Okay, the first person to get okay, we have got Mohsin Haq and Teja saying Euro, GBP, and AUD. Okay, so let's try those things. So if I put GBP/AUD or EUR, we have got clearly from GBP and to EUR. These two things have come up. So because we have written this in such a way that from is from the request params from and to is request params to. So what we need to do now is, since we have all these data in the USD, we should first load the data. Okay, so let's try loading the data. So for loading the data, it is going to be very easy. I'm going to do const data equal to require, and I'm going to use data.json or rates.json. Okay, now in this one, if I put rates and then put data for now and then run it, I could see if I put like /API/GBP/EUR, I get all these rates. Okay, cool. So we are getting the rates here. Now we will create a simple function, const convert rate. So we have got from and to here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use an arrow function here. So now we have got data with us. So right now everything is in USD as the base, right? So I'm going to get rid of this one so that it just shows here. Let's think of some conversion logic first. So if you have got the USD data, so USD is 1.0 here, and we need to convert something from USD. So 1 USD, okay, let's write it here. Okay, 1 USD equal to 0.79 GBP, and 1 USD is again 0.85 EUR. So which means whatever that is written on this particular content, the data is going to be the same. Okay, so if you are converting these two values, we need to get these two values first. Someone can tell the math, because I'm completely zero on mathematics. No, I'm stuck here. Okay, does anyone know what mathematics code I should be using for this? Let me think of something. Let's take simple mathematics here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take clear everything. So let's say GBP, if it is 100 pounds, then for USD it is going to be oops, this is not gonna come clearly. Okay, let's think that way. So 5 GBP equal to 1 or else 500 rupees, let's say. So which means we should be getting something like that. Okay, at least if we try to run the conversion between USD and GBP and INR, we should be able to get something around 100. Okay, so what I'm going to do is GBP to INR, and then this I'm going to put the content of convert rate. First from is going to be GBP and to is going to be INR. Okay, so here immediately what I'm going to do is I'm going to return something that says from to value. So if I do this way, I would be getting GBP to INR. From GBP to INR, the value is 0. So the value needs to be converted in such a way that we need to find the data of GBP. So let's try to use data of from. Let's see if that we get something. So data of from is undefined. Okay, that's interesting. So we need to find out what exactly is there inside the rates.json. Okay, these are all in lowercase. So what I would be doing here is from dot to lowercase. So if I do this, I would be getting all these data. Okay, value is code is GBP, alpha code, every single thing is here. Okay, so this is the USD rate. Okay, so instead of that, I would be taking the dot rate. So from rate, and then we have got to rate. To rate is again, I'm going to use the same thing here. Instead of from, I'm going to use the to rate. So we have got from rate is 0.79 and to rate is 77.54. We need to get somehow hundreds in something in the hundreds. So I need to put 2 divided by from. Okay, so final rate is going to be the to rate divided by from rate, most probably. Yes, 97.96. So if I try to run GBP to INR, 98.02. So we have got almost the correct rate, right? It's just 4 pence difference, but that is the mid-market rate. So we found the mathematics here as well. So all we need to do is we need to get this from rate and to rate, and then we need to divide these two things. So we can get rid of these things and we can just return this particular thing alone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to return this value alone. Oh, sorry. So GBP to INR is this one. So convert rate GBP, INR. This is perfect. Now what I'm gonna do is instead of taking this one here, I'm gonna get rid of this here and put it over here. Value is going to be. So we'll be using. We don't need to use the lowercase here because we are already lowercasing at another point. So if I do /API/GBP/INR, I should get something related to 97.96. So who asked what? So let's try to do that now. GBP and AUD, let's try that. So for Australian dollars in GBP, so you would be getting, oh, interesting. It is 1.76 Australian dollars. So if it is US dollars, I guess it's 1.31 or something. I didn't know that Australian dollars is very small. Okay, if it is USD, then we need to do something totally different. So we just need to add one small thing in USD. Data dot USD equal to code is USD. Rate is going to be 1. So if we try this /API GBP /USD, there you go, 1.26. It's not exactly 1.31, but it is 1.26. So the similar way, we should be getting some 79 or something. So USD, let's try USD to GBP. There you go, 79.15. So I hope you got what we wanted to do. And this is a basic way of converting both the currencies. So how was this so far? Our backend side of things is completed now. Any questions so far? And how was it? Is it boring? Is it interesting? Can someone say something? Writing skills tells me that I'm a doctor. Why, huh? Interesting. So let's try INR to USD as Kashim asked. So last trial, INR USD. So it is 1 INR is 0.012 USD. Oh, so bad. So how about INR to GBP? That would be so high. So small again. I guess it should be the same almost, 0.010. Yeah. So that's the front end part, that's the back end part that's completed. So the next thing that we are going to do is the front end side of things. All right. So once we go back to our React application here, so what we will be doing here is, so instead of using Stack Blitz, I just showed you how this works. So instead of showing the same Stack Blitz, I'm going to show you something totally new here. So let's use React.new. So this is again another application. It is called Code Sandbox, and even this works wonderfully. And here you will be able to easily work with React and other things. So there you go. So this is React application, which is running on React Sandbox, Code Sandbox. And I'm going to create a components folder and then put this app file inside that. Going to get rid of the styles. And let's go to the index and then let's make the changes. Okay, so if I refresh this page, I should be able to see hello React or hello Code Sandbox. Okay, cool. That works. So for styles, I don't want the styles here. So I'm going to get rid of this styles file here. And instead, I'm going to use another folder called styles. And inside this, I'm going to use index.scss. And I'll be using something called as Node Sass. This is going to give me the SCSS support for Node.js. Okay. So now if I want to include this SCSS file, I will be putting import.styles/index.scss. And now if I go to the index SCSS, if I use font family as Open Sans, we can already see that it is working. So we'll be using React for, we'll be using Bootstrap for all these things. So let's try to speed up our things. So first thing, I'll send the link to both of us. So here's the link for front end. Qasim Sheikh says that what is this code used for? Data.usd is code USD rate 1. So this is going to be used for the conversion. So when you're, let me show you one example here. So if you see this data, completely all the data contains every single thing. Okay. There is also an inverse rate here. Oh my God, we could have actually used the inverse rate, but it's okay, fine. So we have got a rate and an inverse rate. Okay. So the rate here is GBP, but everything is there except there is no USD because this is basically the USD code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this one and I'll be creating another thing here called USD. Okay. So because USD is not there, USD, the code is going to be USD. Alpha code is also USD. And then numeric code, we don't know, 000. Name US dollars. Then the rate is always 1 because inverse rate or whatever you call it, for USD, it is going to be the same thing, right? So that's why I have put this. Now I believe if I use USD here, API/GBP/USD should work. It works perfectly. So this was missing in the data. That is the reason I added the data as USD separately, but I don't think it is required. Now, since we have got this, we will be able to do more as well. Okay, I'll show you what else we can do. We can also say app.get/API/currencies, all the currencies. If I say I want all the currencies, we can also do that. So if I do this, so what I want is res.json. Let's put message. And I would like to have currency code, currency name, let's say Indian rupee, and currency code is INR, something like this. Okay. So if I do /API/currencies, I should be getting currency Indian rupee, currency code INR, but I want it for all these data. Okay. So this is what I want. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do object.values of this guy. Okay. So let's go ahead and try to use this particular thing. If I do object.values of data, now I would be getting all these things. Message will have all this particular thing. Now I can put a map function, and if I do, let's say this is the D, and I put Cuvette for everything. I'll be getting so many Cuvettes because these are the different currencies that I would be using. Okay. So we don't have anything related to the country name. So I'm just going to use the name and alpha code. Should we use code or alpha code? Let's use alpha code. Let's try to use the euro. Yeah. So we'll use the alpha code and the name. Okay. So these are the two things that I would be requiring. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to use D dot so currency, and I'll use the currency code. Alpha code is not defined. Sorry, D dot alpha code. So now we have got currency code is euro, currency is euro, the EUR euro, GBP UK pound sterling, JPY Japanese yen, AUD Australian dollar. Okay, got it. So this is exactly what I was looking for all these things. So I'm just going to copy this message and then put it over here. So we have got currency code and currency. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it over here. I hope it was clear in this case, right? /API/currencies. So if I press enter, I would be getting all these things. Any questions so far? Okay, seems like no questions. Right. So now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull this code from the backend to the front end. So this is the backend URL, as we know. So it has got the message and all these currency codes are there. So we can also get rid of this message itself. So what I can do is I will just get rid of this part and then save it. No, press.json. I guess I messed up somewhere. So instead of that message, so I need to remove this one and I need to remove this one, right? Cool. So now if I use /API/currencies, you could see it's a list of the currency codes and the currency. Now coming to our from and to. So we have got from to and the value as well. Great. So these are the main things that we look at, and the backend is almost complete because there is something else that needs to be done. So let me show you what exactly it needs to happen. So now what we are going to do is we need to set up the React application here. So far, any questions? I don't see any questions so far. So let's go ahead and start working on the next part. So the first thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to add some add some Bootstrap styles. So for that, we will be including the Bootstrap's code here in the public file. So here we will say Cuvette static currency converter. And we should be adding a few things. So first thing, I will add the font, fonts.google.com, and then I'll get Open Sans here for now. So if I try to add light, regular, and medium, I just need to copy these 3 lines of code and then put it over in the first line here. Then once we have got these 3 things, if we want the Bootstrap, we can go to getbootstrap.com. And then I'm going to use the Bootstrap 4. Wow, this looks totally nice. So this is 5.2 beta. So I'm going to go for the 4.6x. And then I'm going to copy this one and add the Bootstrap's code here. So once I do this, I need to refresh this page. Once I refresh this page, you could see that all the margins and padding is gone, which means Bootstrap has been loaded. And I could also see the G looks like this. So the font is also loaded perfectly. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the app folder. So in the SRC folder, I have got components. Inside the components, I want to create another folder called Bootstrap. And since to make things simpler, I have got a couple of, how should I say, Bootstrap React helpers. So GitHub. So in my, so let's go to the repositories here in my profile. And if I use Bootstrap, should definitely have Bootstrap React helpers. So this is the thing that I'm going to use here so that it makes things easier. So it has got almost card element, containers, headers, forms, etc. So I'll add this link here as well, so everyone will be able to see. Thank you, Jatan Shah, for confirming. Okay, now the first thing that I want is the header. Okay, how many of you want a dark header? How many of you want a light header? Please tell, and I'll explain the code shortly. So inside the Bootstrap, I'm going to do header.js, and here I will add this. So how many of you want a dark header? How many of you want a light header? So before that, if you see the code, I'm going to use a destructure operator in this. It's a function which has a destructure operator, and this destructure operator has got dark, children, class name, to, and link, which means these are all the props. So if this is given any truthy value, because I'm going to convert this from any kind of a type to Boolean type. And if it evaluates to true, I'm going to put as dark. If not, I'm going to put as light. So the dark variable will have either dark or light as the value. And here I'm creating a navbar, a nav tag, which has got a navbar class, and navbar hyphen the dark is going to be coming from navbar dark or navbar light. Then the same way bg dark or bg light, and all the other class names that we are going to give through the React application. And then it shows the content of the navbar. So this is the basic code that I have written. So if I go back to our app.js, and if I remove everything here and add a header, I don't think it shows anything here. Okay, so I guess I need to import the header. So we'll just do an import header from Bootstrap header. So if I do this, and if I type in something like, so whatever we typed here in our index, it's called Cuvette static currency converter. I'm going to add this. So it is going to show me in the light header. So how many of you want a dark header here? Any dark header, folks? Light or dark? Okay, I believe a couple of people are saying dark in my channel. So what I'm going to do is, if I just copy this and then put a dark here and put true, I would be immediately getting a dark output here. So that is how flexible React is. So React is always very flexible. So you can reuse a lot of components here. And one more thing which I would like to say is, let's say if I want to align this into center, I can just put justify align center or content center. So this is going to justify the whole thing in central way. Now I'm going to get rid of these two lines, and then I will also add some margin bottom, something like this. And now we should be writing a form as well. So we need a form to get the data. So far, any question? Hey, Kalpak. Great. Awesome. Everyone says dark. Nice. Okay, coming back to this one. So let's have a form as well. So there is this shortcut which I wrote here. We also have a form group here. So I'm just going to copy this whole form group, and the link of this repository is given on the chat. Please find it out. And I'm going to create another file inside the Bootstrap folder. It's called form group.js. And then I'll just add this whole form group here. Okay. And now all I need to do is, first thing I need to add the contents. So I'm going to create JSR. Okay. So if I do dot container dot row dot call 12 dot call 6 star 2. So on the left side, I want to use a form. On the right side, I want to use the output. So this is what my idea was initially. So if I try to make this bigger, oh, sorry, I should give something like call SM6. So if I do something bigger, I would be able to see the form and output on two different sides, which is responsive design. Okay, coming to the form, what I want to do is I want to put a H2 here and say like enter the currencies and value. Okay, something like this. Now, what I'm gonna do is on the output, here's the converted value. So it looks very big if I'm using a heading 2, which we can quickly fix it. So what I would do is I'll go to the SCSS file And then if I do H2, I can just put like font weight normal, or maybe font weight 300, and font size is like 16 points, something like this. That looks kind of like okayish. It looks like this in the full screen. And then we can give a margin bottom of 15 pixels. So there is also some margin here. And on the right side for the converted value, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a card element. So even for the card element, I have got a shortcut. So I'll just copy this whole thing and then put it over a card element here. So in this card element, we should be able to work with this one. So we have got the form group and everything. So on the right side, I'm going to use a card. Again, the card is not working. So I'm just going to put /card and import the card from Bootstrap. The same way I'm going to use form group, and then I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay, now coming to the form group part, what all things that we require? We need three things. Number one is from to and value. So these are the three things that we will be using on the left side, right? So for each of these things, let's add a form here, and it doesn't have an action. Let's put these three things here, and I'm going to map everything where the map will take in a form group and a key, or else we can just use form group alone. Now, with that being said, I'm going to use the form group and save it. At this point, you would be seeing three text boxes, which does nothing. So we'll just add a placeholder that says enter the FG. And also, since it is going to be loaded as looping thing, so we need to also give a key which is unique. So I'm going to give FG. So here I have put enter the form. Now we also need to give a label. So the same thing here. So I'm going to give FG as the label. So you could see that there is from, to, and then the value is as well. Value as well is here. So I'm going to use an ID here, so that if I click on this, it is going to click on this one. So from, to, and value. We have got all these three things right now. Now the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to convert this into our we need to add some states and other things, so that we'll be able to make use of the values that are stored here. So far, is it interesting, helpful? Kalpak, we are just creating a full stack JavaScript based application, and here we are using React and Express, and in React we are creating a currency converter. So that's what we are doing right now. Yes. The next thing is, okay, here's the link for my GitHub profile as well. So I don't know why all these links are not being displayed, but anyway, GitHub profile, all profiles you can see Praveen.science. Okay, super. Okay, coming to this one, the next thing is we need the from and to as a select box or something like that, we can say. Okay, so we'll see if there is a select here. We don't have a select here, unfortunately. But instead, what we can do is we want the values to be displayed here. I'm just thinking what would be the best way to do this. Since we have got this one, a form group. So instead of form group, I'm just going to use only the value for this one. So key, we don't need the key. And I'm going to get rid of this one. and this one. So FG is going to be, again, we'll use value, ID is value, placeholder is please enter the amount you want to convert. Right. So here we have got this error, and here we got this value. But for these two things, what we want to do is we want to display one particular element, which is going to be a select element. So for that, I'm going to copy all these things. So just these two things are enough for me, I guess. And then I just need a /dev. And here I need two things. HTML4 is going to be 2, and we need a select. This should have a form group, and then the name is name and ID are 2. So you could see that there are so many repetitions here, right? So what we will be doing is we are going to make the same way from 2, and then we are going to map it. So we have got this FG again. I'm just going to cut this whole thing, paste it over here. So the for is going to be FG. The same way here, the key is going to be FG. Then we can replace all these 2 with FGs. Right. Now, the question will be, how are we going to, sorry, form group, it's not form group, it's supposed to be form control, sorry. Okay, so now how are we going to get these two things working fine? So this should also be FG. Sorry about that. Okay, so we can put FG currency here. So from currency to currency, but we need to populate everything in this one. So all the currencies that we have got are in this particular link. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this link and I'm going to create another folder here after the SRC called services. So inside the services, I'm going to create a folder called currency.js. So export const get all currencies. This is going to send out a fetch for this particular API. So this is going to be the base URL, so that in case if you are going to change this one or something like that, we can also put the base URL here. So here I'm going to use base URL plus. Now this is going to be a response stream, right? So what we are going to do is dot, then here it is going to send it as res. I want to convert it into res.json. Okay, so this one will fetch this API/currencies and convert the response into response.json. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to create some kind of a state. So we are going to use something called useState and const data we will have, or currencies we will have. Currencies, comma set currencies is going to be a useState, and then it will start with a simple output like this. Now we want the thing to execute just once and then set this currencies. Okay, for that we will be using something called as useEffect. UseEffect needs to be running only once for this case. and then it should not be dependent on anything else. So before doing that, we will also create one small stuff here. Let's add a pre-tag with a BG light, bordered, rounded, P1. So this should have JSON.stringify. We need to see what is there in the currencies. So at this point, we don't have anything. It's all empty at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put get all currencies. If that is done, then it's going to be currencies, I guess. I'm going to use set currency. Return the currencies. So if I do this, it says fail to fetch. Why? Because the reason here will be most probably a problem with the course error. So if I run this, so here are the currencies, and we can see that the problem here is course error. So we need to mitigate this particular issue. So we go back to our backend here and then Control C this one. Let's do npm install course. This is a package that helps you to enable the cross origin resource sharing. So now enable course. So what we will do is we'll import course by using require CORS. Since this is a library import, I'm going to put this on the top. Okay. And once I do this, I'm also going to enable the course. So the first one is importing the course. And second one is enable the course. App.use course, something like this if I do. And then if I do npm start, it's going to run this, and then it's going to show me this one. So if I go back here and clear everything and refresh this page, I should be able to get all the data. Okay, again, I get the fail to fetch. So it still says course error. Interesting. So it does say require course, and it is going to give the right headers. I'm still need to find out what is happening here. So yeah, we don't have the course tag here. So let me open this in a new tab and then try to check if I have got any course issues here. So we do have access control allow origin star. Let's refresh this whole page. Let's see if that works now. Nope. It doesn't have access control allow origin star in the response headers. Interesting. So this is the way we will be connecting it. But I don't understand why this is not giving this one, this particular access control allow origin. Sandbox. Maybe I should use disable cache. It is already disabled, but for some reason, still the course is not working up. So there is no access control allow origin. Let's see code sandbox. Let's use the code sandbox itself. Oh. All right. and then try to create an Express thing, node HTTP server. So let's try this. I don't know if this is going to work. Seems like it is actually working. This is nice. So let me copy and paste the single file. This is the only file that I have used. So I'm just going to copy this whole thing, paste it here, and save it. Damn, this needs sandbox server container. Okay, let me think of something else. Is there any free sandboxes that we can use here? Okay, links in Cuvette Discord server. I need to find out if I have the access. On which channel should I share these links? That would be really nice. Hey Ram. Okay, last attempt. So what we will do is we'll just do some jugaad work really. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of all these things, but unfortunately we won't be able to run it again. So if it is going to be the course error, enable course online. Let's see if there is any other way to enable the course. Let's see the test course. Okay, this is not going to work. So there is this allow course thing. So let's see if I can install this for a couple of minutes and then I'll just remove it off. And let me see if there is any options that I can look at. Not this one. I need to make sure this is enabled in incognito. So details, allow an incognito, allow to access file things. Okay, cool. So if this is the only case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh this page and, oh, wait, yes, didn't work. So if we go to the allow course, add or remove whitelist. I believe it is on. So let's see if that works. Nothing actually happened. So we are still getting the course errors. Oh, wait. We got the thing, but the preview, the response doesn't have anything. API/currencies. If I try to open it in a new tab, I do have the currencies here, but for some reason, it doesn't seem to load here anything. Any idea what is happening? If there's anyone who can try to understand here. Okay, Stains, I will just put all the links in the event discussion right away. So in simple terms, I was about to do this, but for some reason, due to some technical issues with Stack Blitz, I guess something is not working here. So what we can do now is, let's try to use we still need the convert rate as well, right? So unfortunately, without that, we cannot make it work. Okay, so let's, how many of you are happy with having a part 2 just because this thing is not working? If there is a part 2 that can be given. So we also learned a lot of things about Stack Blitz, Code Sandbox. These are the 2 things that we can use to make quick React applications and deploy everything on the screen as well, like literally on it. And I'll also look into why this was not allowing the course error. This was showing a course error. So I'll look into all these things as well. So far, how was the whole experience? Please tell me. Okay, so Keshav says he wants part 2. Great. Okay. So where is Siddhi? Siddhi, how is it going? Are you still here?
Hi. Hi, am I audible? Just one minute.
You're audible, yes. Very much audible.
Yes, it was amazing. Yes, sorry, you were saying something?
Go on, talk.
All right. It was amazing, Praveen. Especially for me, I think because we generally do not have a lot of hands-on sessions um, on the internet, and this was one of them. And you made sure it was very interactive all the time. You know, when you were asking suggestions on what to make, and everything was really interactive and smooth. So kudos to you for that, and I really enjoyed it. Praveen, you're not audible, or is it for me only?
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And also, I'm looking forward for a part 2.
Definitely, we are too. And let us know in the comments, everyone, what are your takeaways for this session? And as we end, Praveen, I want to ask you one question that, you know, a lot of people have doubts on how to actually start. So what are your best go-to resources for full stack JavaScript development?
Check out my channel, and also Free Code Camp is one of the best things to check it out. So these are the 2 things I would say. Free Code Camp is really amazing because a lot of things, if you want to learn something or other, Free Code Camp has it. And it is also given in very detailed way. So I believe Free Code Camp will be a great resource for anyone who is starting their new journey with programming or something like that. And I'm also happy to answer any other questions if someone has. I guess we still have another 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm happy to answer some of the questions. So if there is any questions, go for it. Thank you, Kasim. Thanks, Teens. Any questions? And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. All the links will be there in the description for Cuvette live stream, and mine, you just hit the subscribe button down there. Awesome. So any questions from you, Siddhi?
Oh, okay. I actually want to know that you were mentioning about DSA, you know, and that you have not touched DSA. So I just want to know that, and I want you to tackle this myth that people have that we need to do DSA. So just your experience in interviews and other places, how has it been for you, and how have you tackled this? What, because if you do not do DSA, then definitely your skills should be, you know, out of the, I don't know, they should have a higher percentage. So how does it actually work?
Let me tell you about my school marks or college marks, whatever I have got. Everything is like almost like above average. That's it. So 75% or 70%. That's what I got in my school and college. And coming to my skills, I have got like 0 DSA, CP, DP. People are talking about lead code, hacker rank, etc., etc. I have got nothing out of it. Like I don't even know how dynamic programming works or competitive programming works or something like that. People will be putting like, oh, hacker rank, some rank, or like competitive programmer. I don't even know what competitive programming is even till today. Basically, if you ask me, I know to work with a full stack web application to deploy things and other things. But apart from this, I don't think there is anything else that I would be more better in terms of something like that. So basically, most of the companies that I have interviewed, only Facebook and Amazon asked me for DSA questions. And the moment they sent me those questions, I said I politely declined their offer, because obviously I'm not going to work on DSA or algorithms. I'm not so much genius like other people who are going to create Dijkstra's algorithm or like Quicksort or TimSort. Those are the algorithms that people have created, right? And they are extremely optimized in the browsers and other things. I'm not going to sit and code on algorithms or like making it better or something like that. Basically, I will be working on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and whatever you saw today, like creating a backend architecture, the whole thing, those kind of things is what I will be working on. If these people are going to test me on my DSA skills, which I will never be going to use, then I feel that the interviewing way is totally wrong, and I will politely reject. Okay, I don't want to continue here further because of these questions, which are totally a time waster for me. So that's what is my take on these things, and this happened only with Facebook, Amazon, and one of another company based out of London. So 3 companies I told them like, no, this is not going to work out. And other than that, most of the companies, they look for example, I will be mostly applying for React developer, full stack developer, backend Node developer, PHP developer, or LAMP stack developer. These are the roles that I would be applying for. None of these have questions related to DSA, and most of the questions are like, so simply like what we did today. Someone asked me to build a currency calculator, right? So currency converter. Questions will be like that. Okay, you have got half an hour time. How are you going to create a currency converter? How would you fetch the data from an API and then put it on here? So that's all the questions will be. Most probably that would be the questions. Maximum the technical rounds will be half an hour to 45 minutes. And you know how much you can do, or an interviewer can ask questions on. Couple of things will be theoretical. Theoretical is very boring for me. So people will ask me for practical questions or something like the practical side of things. That will be actually better, I would say. So these are the things that I have been working on.
That's really interesting to hear. And it's actually motivating for a lot of guys out there who are not comfortable with DSA, because a lot of us as beginners think that our career is over before it has even started, because we do not know DSA. But having people like you around makes us believe that it is possible and we can do it without DSA as well. We have some questions on the Cuvette Tech channel.
So Virat has got this question: do I need to do DSA for full stack developer role? You found me. I'm a good full stack developer, I hope, and I have never done DSA in my life. And Stain Smart says, you're working with any big tech companies or doing freelancing work? I was a vice president of software engineering in one of the US-based investment banking firms. I believe in India, if I say the name, everyone knows it. Starts with J. I don't want to say anything more. I don't want to get sued. Why did I leave VP job? It is because I don't want to say it outright here, but I really wanted to do a lot of things in the teaching industry or mentoring side of things. So that's the main reason I wanted to leave this. Sahib, that's right. Please remove it. That's correct. That's correct. Please remove it. I don't want to get into trouble, man. Okay. Yeah. So yes, that's the company I worked for. And apart from that, how much bare minimum should we learn to start job as a full stack developer? Basically, if you know the front end, 2 libraries, back end, 1 language or 2 language, that should be enough for you. And coming to other question, which is from Kasim. Yeah. Okay. I really like the ideas of helpers. Bootstrap for time saving. Yes, I always do that. And yes, Kalpak, only Fang asks for DSA. Yeah. Fang contains both Amazon and Facebook, right? And also a couple of startups are not startups, couple of established companies are also asking for DSA. But as long as if things are, I love answering questions, but at the same time, it should not be in such a way that I want to answer literally all the questions that are not relevant to the job that I am going to work. So that is the main thing that I was looking for. So yeah, so that's about it. And so Stains, I have answered your question. Keshav, yes, part 2 should be soon. Yes, that's it. All the questions are answered, I believe. I hope it was.
Any last advice you would like to give out to everyone watching you?
In simple terms, if you're passionate on something, just go ahead, start showing. Okay, for a lot of people might have asked me this question, and you would also have this question: how do I get placed, or how do I get jobs easily? So for me, what happened for the past couple of weeks is I don't go ahead and apply for jobs, but the companies try to reach out to me. So you have to keep your profile in such a way. First thing, what I would say is LinkedIn and Twitter are really good for tech. tech jobs, tech careers. And I would suggest people to create something really demonstratable. Like, for example, today I created this live stream, right? So I was showing you how the whole thing works, every single thing, my coding style. So when a recruiter looks at this video of mine, first thing they understand that, okay, this guy is a full stack developer. He likes JavaScript, he likes React, he likes Node. He has got some idea about these things. The technical person will be able to see what is my coding style and what tools that I use and how good my communication skills are, and am I helping others? Obviously, because I'm always up for like creating a video on like creating something or something like that. So these are a couple of things that most of the employers will look in their employees. So that is one of the most easiest way of getting employable. Consistently post in LinkedIn and Twitter to get attracted by the recruiters and other people. So that way you will also end up landing jobs and other things. So that is something which I would say.
That's great. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Praveen, for such a knowledgeable session. It was amazing hosting you, and looking forward to have more such sessions.
I wish I could get your video here, but didn't work out. So that's the request I'm going to put for you, Siddhi, for the next time when we are doing the part 2.
Definitely.
Awesome. So
thank you, everyone.
As usual, I'm going to say only one thing before I leave. So stay home, stay safe, stay away from Corona. Give immense importance to your health. Don't be like me. See ya. Bye.
Bye.